too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the edge life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the edge life.
What is going on, everybody?
Hey.
It is another Sunday Funday. You have tuned into the only place that you need to be tonight, man. You are with the Edge Life. You are with the Edge Life.
That's where you are. That's where you are with episode 17.
Episode 17 of season 2, and we are excited about that. You know what I'm saying? We're super excited about that.
We're so excited.
You know, I stopped and I think, and first and foremost, I asked myself, I said, can you believe that we are literally on episode number 17 of season 2? I don't know where the time is going, and I'll say this just very shamelessly. I would not rather be any other place. I love being here on Sunday with you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Love being here on Sundays with my boo. That's what I'm talking about.
With you and chopping it up with you.
Yeah.
So, and tonight we're talking about, what do you do when things don't go as they've been planned in life?
The funny thing.
I think that's my life.
Well, I was getting ready to say that. I definitely think that is our life. You know, what do you do when life doesn't go as planned? You know, Carrie and I, we are blessed to have 5 beautiful children, one grandchild, and yeah. Claps for that. One grandchild and almost another one. You know what I'm saying?
None of that was necessarily
Right. You know, it's literally like what do you do and how do you work that? So listen, today we are going to be talking about life, right? And what happens when it doesn't go as planned. If you have had some stories where, things didn't go quite the way that you thought that they were going to go, listen, this is definitely going to be the place for you today. We want you to tune in. We want you to share with us, share your stories with us, share your insight with us. We don't know it all, but we're going to share with you what we do know. Also, while we're talking about sharing, you all do know sharing is caring. So do us a favor real quick. Go ahead, share this out on your social media. There may be somebody who needs this tonight, who needs to hear what we're talking about tonight. So please go ahead and share this out. If you're watching us on the replay, you can share as well. So share this out. Let people know what's going on here with the Edge Life on our little weekly show that we do here. So before we jump into any of that, babe, I just want to know, like how are you doing? How's the week going? What's going on with you? Let's talk. Let's talk.
I was sharing, like you said, to share. Somebody needed
you were sharing is caring.
I was.
Sharing is a beautiful thing. I'm telling you.
It absolutely is. Yeah, the week was good. Just another busy week as always.
Yeah.
I got my hair, my ears lowered. That's what
you
my
did.
grandfather would say. My ears lowered.
You did.
So yeah.
And you came home and I said, ooh, yeah. I like the ears lowered thing. You looking foxy, man. Looking
friend
foxy.
Heather. So at Salon 17.
Yeah.
So shameless plug.
That's what's up.
If you want,
I can't get mine lowered anymore. You know what I mean? Now somebody else they may be able to, but mine is about as low as it can get.
How low can you go?
That's about as low as I can get.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, week was definitely very productive. Running, moving, shaking. I'm still scheduling my strategy session. So listen, if you out there, you are trying to figure out what's next, what you need to do, I'm offering free strategy sessions. It's been amazing. I'm doing it free. But what I tell people, I said, listen, it's free to you, but the knowledge and information that you are getting, it's going to be something that you will be able to use for a lifetime. Literally, it will change your life. And those people that I've taken through this strategy session, I'm doing probably 8, 9, 10 a week now, it seems like. But the strategy sessions are changing people's lives. If you need a strategy session, let us know. Hit us in the DM, hit us in the comments, be like, hey, I need a strategy session, and I'll make sure that we schedule one for you. It takes about 45 minutes or so. But like I said, it's free to you, but the knowledge and information will change your life forever.
Definitely worth the time investment,
for
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we've been having a good time with that.
Yes.
We've been having a good time with that. So let's jump into into the session tonight because, again, we're here and we don't like prolonging the time. We like jumping into the meat of the conversation and in life and life not going as planned. I think we may be the poster child for that sometimes,
Well, sometimes you don't like necessarily plan everything. And
right.
My dad would always say failing to plan is
Just
planning to fail.
Right, absolutely.
And sometimes it's not failures, but you're just, not planning or thinking things all the way through.
Yeah.
We never planned to have 5 children.
Right.
But I don't think it's a failure.
No, not at all.
I wouldn't take narrow one back.
That's the country coming out. Narrow one. That's right.
No,
that's right.
Not
That's
at
right.
all. So, but start us out with maybe a time where you did have, that moment where you're like, oh man, this is not what I planned.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know for me, honestly speaking, that there are many that I think about. One particular, like it's funny, like even when I go back to things like college, you know what I'm saying? Like picking and choosing, a college and I was fortunate to go to a college, in Kentucky, loved, the college and whatnot. But when I got there, it wasn't necessarily what I expected. You know what I'm saying? Like it was college and it was good, but it wasn't quite what I expected.
Now, I don't remember. Did you visit before you said yes? I can't remember.
It's been a while, but I don't even think that I visited. I think that I went.
That's where our daughter gets it.
I went. I literally went on faith, and it was funny. I know. For me, even thinking back then, I wanted to continue playing football, and for me that was the big thing. And when they gave me an opportunity to play, it was like, okay. And then my coaches at the time, they were very adamant. They were like, look, you need to go here. You need to go here. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there, but it was a you need to go there. And it's bigger than football. You need to go there, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there. But again, on the strength of the word, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there. And I'll never forget when the recruiting coordinator at the time came and he talked to me and the family and the whole 9 yards, and I was like, okay, I'm going. But I really didn't know what I was getting into. And honestly speaking, that there were many times, while I was there that I was like, I don't know if I want to be here, And I think about it and things didn't necessarily go as I planned. Again, when especially when you're that age, when I was that age, I thought I was probably better than I was. And I think you always do. But when I got there, I was like, man, I should be playing. I should be doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to practice and you're doing what you need to do, and I'm like, I should be playing. Why am I not playing? Well, I guess fortunately or unfortunately, I had a guy who was a senior and he was playing in front of me, and I literally went from like a nobody there to my freshman year. I wound up being second on the depth chart, which was good. And there are a lot of people who would probably say, oh man, that's great. I mean, you're a freshman. But in my mind, I always wanted more, right? I wanted more. So I think, when I think about things not going as planned, that's not the way that I thought that it was going to go when I got there. The other thing to that, and I think another way we can look at this, is what do you do when life hands you lemons, right? So when I got in that situation, it was like a lemon from the standpoint of it wasn't going the way that I thought that it should go, but I had to change some things up. I had to change my mindset. And later on, we're going to give you some tips and some tools that you can take away with you if you're in a place where things don't look like it was planned, or, you were handed lemon. So I literally had to do that. I had to make.
Y'all, he did not go to no lemon school.
No, it had nothing to do with the school.
The South. Yeah.
Because again,
no, but I think you were in a program in which, it was a winning program.
Yeah.
You all were nationally ranked, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
you weren't losers.
No. We weren't losers by any stretch of the imagination. It just and I'm talking about the whole experience,
I'm
right?
talking about like from high school to that. Like,
I
think it was probably what you were groomed for.
Yeah.
Didn't match where you went to in your mind.
Oh yeah. I think that was a lot of it.
But your coaches knew, like, you were smart. You were not
right.
one of those student athletes who had to struggle academically.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
could do the academics because again, you're talking Harvard of the South. You're
Right.
talking about
Right.
you know you need to be excellent in the
Right.
classroom, and they knew that you could do that, and they knew, you know, going forward, you know, you're not 6 foot or you know.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
that you weren't, you know, you're
that-
not that you're not miraculous or
no,
anything.
but they knew
But
in
they
their
knew
mind.
NFL was like that was not
Right,
coming. So
right.
let's set this young man up because he's intelligent and give him these connections.
Right. Right. And honestly, that happened.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the experiences, you know what I'm saying? Like getting there.
Right. It
um,
wasn't
it was not
what you
it
thought
was
it
not
would be.
what I expected it to be.
In your mind's eye,
Right,
you know,
right.
when you think about being a college athlete.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
sure it was not what you
Well,
expected.
And like I said, the football portion of it was what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, coming from a program like I came from, going there, it was just different.
Yeah.
You know, I came from a place where the expectation was winning.
Yeah, you were expected to win.
Like, I mean, and not just win.
Nothing
like,
else was an option.
yeah, there was no other
There is
option.
not
Like
another
like
option.
you win,
Right.
and you had not only your team depending upon you to win, you had alumni counting and believing that you were gonna win. So you had a whole city believing that you were gonna win, going to a place in which you know they were building a winning culture.
Right.
And
Yeah, you were part of like
Yeah.
a growth process.
Yeah, now I'm that was hard to go from a climate and culture where you were there.
Yeah, you were like football dynasty.
Yeah, to go into a place where it was like, oh, we lost. What you gonna do
Well,
later
you
on?
know,
You know what I'm saying? And not to say that it would have been different anywhere else, because again, you're going into college, and college in and of itself is contrary to popular belief. College athletics, it's more of a business. You know what I mean?
Absolutely a business.
It was, and I think that played a lot in it, that you weren't out just playing to play anymore. You were playing, and it was bringing revenue to a school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
it was things like that were happening. You know what I mean?
They had some skin in the game.
Yeah.
They were giving you some money.
Yeah. So
They expected you to show up.
Absolutely.
And perform
Absolutely.
in the classroom.
Absolutely.
And on the field.
Absolutely. And that, again, that's a whole different world,
and
you know?
and everyone, you know, a very small percentage, I'm sure you probably know
Mm-hmm.
the percentage, or around about a very small percentage of people have that as their collegiate experience.
Right.
You know, I've seen our son, Trey, you know, battle with that.
Yeah.
You know, playing 2 college sports
Mm-hmm.
on scholarships and changing schools and, you know, the being grown and having a child and all these
Yep.
sorts of things.
Yep.
You know, I've seen him battle that. I'm sure it hasn't gone as he thought it might.
Right.
But, you know, I saw the whole, you know, hey, I'm a freshman. I'm
Mm-hmm.
better than you know, I should be playing. I remember him really not wanting to redshirt, him really wanting to play,
Right.
all of those sorts of things. So the stories sound
Yeah. I mean,
somewhat similar,
and it's funny
at least
because
from his football experience.
I bet you can talk to 60 to 70% of football players
They think they're gonna go
transitioning
in there and
from
play.
high school to college, and they would all probably have a similar experience because it's different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the same people who were recruiting you, now they do this thing called yell at you,
There's
and you're like
something
you're like
different. They were
wait a
all
minute,
nice before.
wait, exactly. You were super nice before, and now all of a sudden you're not nice anymore. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of life, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to navigate through life and to make the most out of every situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, what about you? You have any situation that you can think of where it felt like you know, you're going in there and things didn't necessarily go as planned, or you were given lemons and you had to figure out how to make lemonade with that thing?
Yeah. You know, when I was working with Boys and Girls Club, I really thought that was like the end all be all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was really put into a situation where, you know, for a long while, it was just beginning to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And I knew it was time to go, but I'm loyal to a fault, y'all. So I hung on until the wheels fell off.
Right.
And then, you know, was faced with this, at the time, I didn't see it as an opportunity to recreate myself, and to search out my purpose in life. I really didn't. And initially, I didn't embrace the opportunity to spend time. We still had one that wasn't in school, so wasn't in school yet.
Right.
And initially, I didn't embrace, having that one-on-one time with her, and even my niece, who's now 10, and my nephew, who I was able to spend some time with when he was younger too. So, I just kind of thought that was it. That was all I was going to do. For me, that was always kind of like the dream, that I would find something that I love to do, and then I would just be committed to that, because that's just my personality.
Right.
We've been together
A couple days.
a few days.
Yeah.
30 years almost.
Yeah.
So, that was just my thought about things in life, So, but I began to lift the shroud, I guess, to lift the veil, and to really begin to see things for what they could be. And really what they were.
Right.
In your mind, when things don't go as they're planned, we make a mountain out of a molehill. We make things bigger than they really are. And I was, those are the moments when your emotions can really begin to battle you.
Right.
And they can begin to be at the forefront.
Yes.
And you're not in control. Your emotions are. And we sometimes forget that we can't allow emotions to be in control.
Absolutely.
They're very temporal. And then, I had good people in my life like you, who just really encouraged me, and okay, it's been long enough.
Right.
But it was not what I expected it would be, transitioning. And then, I started, I went into business for myself as a personal trainer, just doing that solely. And that wasn't exactly what I thought either. Because people just aren't as faithful to themselves as they should be. Self-care is not as much of a priority as it should be.
Right.
And, I had to, again, start saying, okay, God, is this what you have for me?
Right.
And to just keep an open mind. So I had a couple of transitions between 2011 and ultimately, I guess that was 2013. And that's when I transitioned to the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And that was something, when things don't go as they're planned, you can't just shut down.
That's right.
It's important for you to keep your eyes open.
That's right.
Again, like I said, to look for the opportunity.
Yep.
Because everything in life has purpose.
Yep.
And so, you gotta keep your eyes open for whatever might be. And so I was able to take, the personal training, which I still do now.
Right.
And it's something I enjoy doing.
It's fulfilling for you. Right.
Very fulfilling. So that wasn't a loss during that time. It's a skill, ability, a certificate that I have. And that's kind of translated, with me.
Yeah, so when you think about it, and we'll really jump in because we do have some tips that we want to share with you on today, and you started alluding to that first tip, right?
Yeah. I did.
So no matter what the situation gives you, right? I think about cards. And those of you who do not know, we don't mind playing a little cards, particularly a game called Spades, right?
I do not know, Scouts Honor or whatever, Gospel Truth. I do not know how to play poker.
Yeah, I don't.
Nothing.
I don't really rock with the poker too, but spades.
I can play spades.
I can play some spades.
I can play spades.
Now the interesting thing about spades is you were at the mercy of the dealer when they deal
Whatever
your
hand
hand,
you
right?
get.
So every single hand you're at the mercy of the dealer, and the dealer's dealing you cards, and you get them. Now the crazy thing is when you get those cards, no matter what you have in your hand, you got to make those things work.
You got to make it work as
you
best
got to make it work to the best of your ability, and work with your partner and or your teammate to try to figure out how you're gonna make this happen. You're not alone in the battle, right? So the first thing that we say, especially when you have life going on, you're dealt a hand. Look at your hand, right, and try to figure out how can I play this hand to the best of my ability, right? So when you're playing spades, you might look and you're looking at your partner, looking at your cards, and you're like, hey, I might got one in the possible. I might have one in the. But at the end of the day, it don't matter how many books you got. What matters at that time is that you play your hand to the best of your ability, because there are times when you may not see anything, but you got something in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're looking and all you don't see
like,
nothing in
have
there.
it.
I have nothing. But if you learn how to play those cards to the best of your ability, you can pull books that you didn't even expect to pull. You can do things in life that you didn't even expect. So regardless of the hand that you're dealt, you gotta, number one, you gotta say, hey, listen, I'm gonna play my hand to the best of my ability. You can't quit on your hand. You can't quit.
And sometimes playing to your best, especially in spades, means that, I need to lose the book.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to win books.
Right.
I need to lose the book. And though I don't know how to play poker, I know that they say you have a poker face.
Right.
I was watching this thing on, I think, Instagram. It just had a little video and it had like a little caption. And it was basically this young lady. She was like playing a good poker face. She didn't have a good hand. But basically, she played the poker face, and everybody else like went bust or whatever. I don't even know. And she ended up winning with like 2 twos.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, she held what she had.
Right.
She kept her face fixed.
Yep.
And her confidence exuded. And
That's so good.
it caused the other people to get nervous. And so they started trading out cards and ended up messing themselves up. And she ended up winning the hand. Just because she kept her confidence. Stayed the course and played the hand that she was dealt.
And I love what you're saying, because there's something about being confident, right?
Yeah.
Even in the face of craziness, in the face of, all kind of, catastrophic stuff, you have to stay confident, because here's the thing: people will respond to what they see you doing, right? People will respond to you. So if you look confident, people will respond to you in a like manner. If you look like you broke, busted, disgusted, and ain't gonna go nowhere, people will respond to you in that manner also. So just like what you're saying, that young lady, she had a poker face, right? She was able to, even though her circumstances looked one way, she wasn't gonna show that publicly.
That's
right? And in not showing that publicly, she was then able to win just based off sheer confidence alone.
And then the flip side of that, which leads into number one, which is to really find the lesson or learn. So number one is to find the lesson and learn, is to those people that are around you. Like, I know our children, like really allowing them to see.
Yeah. Like,
life is real. Sometimes it sucks. Can really not only be a lesson, for you in that time, but also for them.
That's
to
right.
To allow them to see you deal with life unplanned, gracefully.
Right.
And, that was one of the things, like, my children saw that. And there's been a number of times where I've had, some opportunity to converse with them where they've shared with me that, they'll say things like, Mom, you're the strongest person I know.
Wow. Yeah.
And I remember back when, blah, blah, blah. And, I didn't even feel strong at the time. But allowing them to just be in that space and to really see real life happening.
Right.
Your life can be a lesson to someone else as long as you're willing and you have the right mindset that, life is a multitude of teachable moments.
Right.
It's full of lessons.
Right.
And I need to be okay with sharing them with other people so that they can learn and grow and develop, and I can too. In order to see that life is a lesson, or to find the lesson when moments don't go the way, or life doesn't go the way that it's planned, is really beautiful. And in addition to being beautiful, as long as you keep the mindset that when things don't go as planned, I'm going to find the lesson in all of this.
Yeah.
Then what you're able to do is understand that failure is just a prelude to success.
That's it. I love that.
It just means I'm getting a little bit closer. You look at the Wright brothers.
Right.
They did eventually fly, y'all, but they crashed a whole lot before.
Right.
Most people give up the time before they're actually going to fly.
That's good. That's
and
good.
so we just have to realize that sometimes when things don't go as planned, it literally might look like failure. It might feel like failure. It may hurt like heck.
Yeah.
But it really is just saying, you know what success is coming.
Right.
If you can glean the lessons from this and not go down that path again, or take from this what's needed to go into the next season and find that success. It's a prelude to success.
And I love what you're saying, because literally, again, in life, we have to figure it out. We got to find that lesson, right? Because that is the gem hidden inside of the circumstance. You know, yesterday I went live for a little while, and I was talking about just things that winners do, right? And one of the things that winners do, winners are able to find the lesson in anything. And what I said yesterday, I said winners, we don't lose. We learn a lesson. Yep. And it's that lesson after lesson after lesson that become the building blocks for our success.
That's right.
Right? So even if it's something that you know, you look at it and it seems negative, right? We can't look at it and be like, oh man, it's negative. Oh, my life is over. No, we just have to learn the lesson in it. And in learning the lesson, that's where growth comes. I personally, I don't grow when I'm on the mountaintop.
No.
Right? I grow when I go through things, right? And as I'm growing through the things, that's where I'm learning those lessons. And once I learn the lesson, I don't repeat it, right? I use it to catapult me and springboard me where I need to go. So that finding lesson and finding that teachable moment, if you will, that's a huge piece right there.
Oh yeah, to me that's one of the biggest pieces, but it all circles back to your mindset. So I have to always look at life as an opportunity to learn. The second thing is that you have to learn to take control of what you can control.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Not everything in life is for you to control or even know. And it's a good thing, because if some of us knew some stuff and we're in control of some things, we would have made it different. And we probably would have really messed things up, right? I mean, think about the things that if you could have controlled it, that you would have changed. Yeah. And how you really might have messed some things up.
Yeah, I know personally that's the interesting thing for me, because a lot of times when life is happening, we feel out of control. Yeah. And that in and of itself is the problem, because we feel out of control, right? So even with this one, I always say to people, I said, okay, well, find what you can control. Find what you are in control of, right? And control that thing. Control you, your person. Control you. Control your reaction. Your control your thoughts. Control what you say and what you speak. See, just those simple things right there, that can change a whole circumstance, right? But we have to be in what's called self-control. We can't be in people control, because we can't control anybody. I hear you, Janet Jackson. Right. But we have to be in the place where we're in control of self. Because because we can't control anybody else, but being in control of self will help us to be able to move forward, even in spite of crazy and chaotic situations.
Yeah, and to that, just a couple of things about being in control that I really find they're very powerful tools and tips. Number one, you can always control what you're grateful for, right? And having a mindset of gratitude, right? Like in the moments where life just really sucks, like, look around and figure out, what are you grateful for? Yeah. Be in control of that and be like, you know what? Life does suck right now. Yeah. But I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful I still have a roof over my head. I'm grateful, that God did this. Yeah. I'm grateful for that. I'm great, like, just start like smothering and covering yourself with gratefulness and gratitude. Like, just start giving thanks. Absolutely. And that can really, really help. The second thing, not the third thing, the second thing is to just be present in that now moment. Like sometimes we get too far ahead of ourselves, and that's what makes us feel out of control. Yeah. It's like, things in the future seem so far ahead. Yeah. Yeah. And we just get too far out there, and then we allow ourselves to become overwhelmed. Or we go back to the past, and we can't control the things that have already happened. That's right. We can't rewrite history. We can't do any of that. So staying present in the now, allows you to really see, okay, what is around me? You know, what's in my periphery? What are the things within arm's reach?
Yeah, that's good.
That I can begin to affect.
Right. That's good.
Right?
That's good.
And not to look at so much as like control, but say, what do I have the power to affect?
There it is.
What do I have
there
the power to change?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and like you were saying, you know, your attitude, your emotions, all those sorts of things. But for me to be in control, I stay focused on what I'm grateful for, and I try to remain present in this now moment, because now is all that really matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do y'all hear that? Like, now is really all that matters.
That's good. That's
you
good.
know, I've learned, like, the laundry will still be there. The dishes will still be in the sink. Like, you know what? If you can't live in that house, there'll be another place that you live. I mean, you know, life, people can't eat me. You know, I tell people all the time, like, I'm not really worried about it. They can't eat me. I say that all the time. Like, what are you afraid of? They're going to eat you? I mean, you know. Right. And it's a funny thing that I say, but it just reminds you, like, just be present right now.
Absolutely.
Let's focus right now, and then stay focused on the good in the now.
You know, it's funny. Yesterday we were talking, I was live, and I was just talking about now moments and now behaviors, and there's a book, it's called Now Behaviors, and now stands for no opportunity wasted. And I think a lot of times, especially when life doesn't go as planned, you can't waste the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Because those are, again, they're learning moments. They're learning moments, and you're learning as you're going through the process. You know, sometimes you might not learn what you should do, but you will definitely learn what not to do. And you
may not like what you learned.
I'm not putting myself in that situation again, right? So there are learning moments, but you can't waste the opportunity.
Right. And that's what I was saying from my example, is that in that right then when it happened, everything was too new. It still was too painful, and I couldn't see the opportunity. But I was eventually able to see the opportunity, and now that I can look back, I can really see, wow, you know, God's hand at work in that. You know, it's so much easier. Hindsight is always 20/20, and I'm pleased with I'm proud of myself for taking the opportunity.
Amen. We proud of you too.
I mean, I could have.
We proud of you too.
I could have done nothing. I could have backed down. You know, there were times where I didn't. Yeah. I didn't want to, but I just kept on.
I love it.
Kept on anyways, because I wanted my children to see that. The resilience. Well,
and that's what I was getting ready to say. It's called resilience, right?
Being resilient.
Being able to bounce back in spite
back
of.
In my spirit.
Right? Come on, somebody. I mean, being able to bounce back even when the situations look bleak. Listen, those of you watching us today, the secret power that you have is resilience. The secret power that you have is the ability to bounce back in spite of what hand you're dealt, in spite of what's going on. You have the power and the ability to bounce back, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I used to love those little rubber balls. I used to collect those little
balls
bouncy
went everywhere,
balls.
didn't they?
And that's the cool thing. That's what I was gonna say. So, you know, depending on the amount of force with which you throw yourself out there, there's no telling where you'll bounce and what you'll experience, where you'll be able to go.
That's good.
Because literally for those things, like, the sky was absolutely the limit, and no two bounces were ever the same. So, you know, throw yourself out there.
I love it.
And just experience life and enjoy it, man. Like, just totally.
You got one life to live.
Enjoy life, which, you know, we all enjoy a little sugar. Talk to us about number 3, which is our last little tip.
Yeah, number 3, we said find the sugar. You got to find the sugar. Listen, anytime you are dealt lemons, right? You got lemons. Lemons in and of themselves are sour. They're bitter.
Sweeten it up.
Some of them are nasty, but I do know some people who will just eat the lemon. I don't know why, but I don't know why. But here's the crazy thing: if you have some lemons, find you some sugar. Find you some water and mix that thing up. So literally, you know, what we would say is, how can you remix the situation? How can you look at that situation and say, you know what, where's the sugar in this thing? Where's the water in this thing? Let me make this thing and turn this thing into lemonade. How can I do this thing? You know, I think about, you know, as you were sharing your situation earlier, and you're looking at it and you thought life was going to look one way, and when it didn't, you could have laid down, but you found the sugar. You were going out, you were trying to do something productive, every single day. You were showing gratitude every single day. You were showing up, period, every single day. You weren't going to allow life to just have you.
Got a certification.
Right. You got a
I
certification.
got some time on my hands.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to invest in myself.
Yes. And so again, that's finding the sugar.
Yeah.
That's being able to find the water. That's being able to take lemons and make lemonade. So where is your sugar in the situation? Where is the thing that you can take it, bring a little sweetness and remix that thing and take it from something that was negative to something that will be positive and for your good?
Yeah. And I think when things don't go your way, just twisting the find your sugar, you got to get in your sweet spot. And a lot of times when things don't go your way, it gives you an opportunity to find the sweeter things in life.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were both unemployed and then both
Underemployed.
underemployed,
Absolutely.
we realized that less was more. Like we just enjoyed like the little things so much more. And then other things were so much sweeter than before. It really made us appreciate things.
Absolutely.
And so when life, throws a curveball at you, stay in the batter's box.
Yeah.
Keep your head in, keep your eye on that ball and find the sweet spot on that bat and hit that thing out of the park.
Come on.
So it is an opportunity for you to really find and to chase after the things that you love. I was having a conversation with a young lady today, and she has an opportunity for a job, but what she really wants to do is some ministry work. And she interviewed for a position that literally is everything that she's been praying to God for. I mean, literally everything. And there were buts. Yeah, there were a lot of buts because the butt was all about money and resources.
Right.
And I'm like, look, if God brought this thing to you that you feel like it is specifically for you, if it's released to you, then whatever the financial situation is, you have to trust too.
That'll take care of itself.
Because he wants us.
Right.
God wants us to operate in a sweet spot.
Right.
He wants you to get up every day and go do the thing that even if nobody paid you to do it,
You'll still do it.
you'll still do it.
Yes.
And so when life gets to acting up,
Which it does.
it can give you the opportunity to really find what that sweet spot is
Yeah.
and to begin to draw your lines
Right.
and say, no, I won't do that again. For me, I realized that I did a whole lot of things for other people.
Wow. Yeah.
Especially children, because I was working with young people, but I wasn't making that same investment in my own.
Yeah.
And so my sweet spot, the thing that I really wanted was to be a good mom.
Right.
Like to really make an investment in my children. Not so they just say, oh, my mom was a good mom, but so that I could see it reflected in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got into what I was doing because I cared about young people.
Right.
And I cared about their future. And then what I found was I was losing connection with my own children's future. And so it was just a reset moment to really find the sweet spot and to say, never again will I allow this, that, or the, to get in the way of this or that, or to be doing this and not being investing time in my children and what they do and what they love to do.
That's good.
And so it allowed me to draw the line. So if you're going through a difficult time right now, like find the sweet spot, find the things that you love and begin to set some parameters and establish some values to say, you know what, when my opportunity does come and I walk into that thing, here's the thing, here's the lines, here's the boundaries, here's the things that I will not compromise.
That's it.
Period, poo.
That's it. I wasn't expecting the period poo, but yes.
Seriously, get serious about that
That's
thing.
right. That's right.
Like while you have the time, like utilize that opportunity to figure out what do you value in life. That's the sweetness.
That's good.
That's the sugar.
That's good.
You can have cake, but you can have icing too. But that's up to you.
That's right.
That's all up to you.
That's right. That's right. So listen, I'm just gonna say this, man. I hope that you are getting these things.
Get it.
I hope that you are writing these things down tonight. We talked about what do you do when life does not go as planned. We gave you a couple things today. We said first and foremost, you got to find the lesson, right? You got to find the lesson in this thing. You got to learn what is the teachable moment. Yep. We said you got to take control of what you can control, and the thing that you can control is you, right? You can control the way that you think, the way that you speak, the way that you act. Right. That is, you got to take control.
That's right.
And then the third thing that we said is you got to find the sugar, right? Where is the sugar? Even though you've dealt these nasty lemons, get you a little sugar, get you a little bit of water, remix that thing and turn it into something amazing and beautiful. When you do those things, it doesn't matter if life throws you things that you didn't plan for, because you can pivot.
That's right.
And in the pivot, there's power.
Amen.
And that's the thing. So listen, with that being said, man, I hope that you enjoyed tonight. We know we enjoyed tonight, just hanging out with you all tonight. It's always good. It's always fun just to, come and do our thing with you all. So we will be back here next week, same time, same place. Edge Life, holding it down.
Share us.
Yeah, so make sure that you share us out, y'all. Make sure you share this out. Make sure you share it with somebody.
And come back next week.
And make sure you come back next week.
Another dose of the Edge Life.
Another dose. We'll talk to y'all next week, y'all. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Edge Life, you're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that Edge Life. Oh, gotta get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the Edge Life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that Edge Life. Oh, gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the Edge Life. That Edge Life. We gon' help you get your head right. Prepare to fight. Pay attention. It ain't easy to comprehend what we speaking at first. If you ain't never had nobody come and speak to your worth, you ain't worthless. Just your purpose is laying dormant, and what we have to offer you may seem a bit foreign. It's important that you get it. Imperative you feel it. Time to focus on the bigger goals, mind, body, and spirit. So let's break it down. My people, come gather around. It's time to break free. No longer will we be bound by these generational curses and circumstances. We only moving forward, progressing major advancements. See, nothing that we speaking is facetious. You gotta see yourself the same way the Savior sees us. He came down from his throne room to free us. You know we had to cap it off with Jesus. Edge Life, you're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead.